A very good evening. It's a Monday evening. It's time for yet another informative episode of Soweto Today. I'm your host, Refiloe Motsei. Thank you so much for making time and watching the show. You know, we always inform you what's happening, not only in Soweto, but the rest of the country. It's a brand new month, the month of March. It's known as Human Rights Month. This is where we are reminded, about the sacrifices, really, that actually came with the struggles of attaining democracy in South Africa. Of course, 21st of March, it is Human Rights Day. Now, it's also an important month really for the IEC in particular. This coming weekend, the 10th and 11th of March, you have a chance to register for the very first time or re-register if you need to update your address details on the voters roll. Registered South African voters no longer need to go to an IEC office or voting station during voter registration to change their residential addresses, but you can actually now do so in the comfort of your own home. The IEC has launched its online address campaign, which will assist it in particularly when it comes to meeting the 30th of June 2018 target to capture addresses of all registered voters. This, of course, is in run-up to the 2019 general elections. My IEC Online, that's what it's called. It lets you update your address manually or using the internet to pinpoint your location. Previously, voters had to go to the IEC offices or wait for the voter registration period to do this. Now, to update your physical address, because you are only allowed to vote in the voting station nearest to your location. Should you move and not update your address, you'll be forced to vote in your old voting station. The My IEC platform is very secure, very easy to use, and also providing your address will only take a few minutes. That was said, of course, by the Chief Electoral Officer, Sai Mamabolo. Voters will also need to sign a declaration included on their profile as acknowledgement that their details are really accurate. If information provided is found to be false, the Commission would actually take the necessary steps, against the voter. We'll touch more on that when we come back from the ad break. We'll be joined by IEC Gauteng spokesperson Ntate Moss. Stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Soweto Today with your host Refiloe Motsei. Of course, registering to vote. That's of course for the general elections next year. So we joined on the show by Ntate Moss. He is a spokesperson sa IEC Gauteng. Let's welcome him on to the show to tell us more. Ntate Pitso, a very good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening to you too.
How are you?
No,
it must be quite hectic for you and the department. I mean, getting ready for registration.
Yes, it's been a long time coming, but I think we're ready now.
Yeah. Before we get into it, yaka spokesperson sa IEC.
In the Gauteng province, I'm in charge of outreach, IEC, the communication. So if you have to talk about anything relating to IEC in this province,
lovely. Now, registration is going to take place, right? 10th, 11th March. Why is registration going to take place?
Well, it's in terms of our constitution, or vote in this country, and also to register first. Even though you may be a South African of the correct age to vote, but if you are not registered, you will not be allowed to vote.
Now, someone might have moved from when they were last year. They've probably changed address. How is that one going to work?
Regular officer I see daily during the week from during office hours, depending on where the IEC office is, because IEC offices offices in Maspal. So in every municipality in the country we have an IEC office. So they're open during office hours. A person can go there anytime to go and register or update their details.
To somebody watching the show, saying IEC, Independent Electoral Commission, mandate
IEC established constitution chapter 9. Democracy through elections, so what we call electoral democracy. Other institutions, public protector and so forth, in chapter 9 institutions, Human Rights Commission. Waronas IEC mandate entrench electoral democracy. So to country who tisa democracy it's assure people that lead this country are people that are elected in a credible process that everybody's allowed to participate, so that Urban government is democratic.
Lovely. Let's look at previous registration processes. I mean, are there any hiccups or challenges that you faced that you don't want to go through this year?
Look, for us, registration is not that much of a struggle because all our systems are in place. The only difference now is that there was a Concord ruling that required that all voters on the voters roll must have addresses. So our project right now is focusing on ensuring that people that are registered have got addresses on the voters roll. So voter registration, as I'm saying, our offices are opened daily, every week. So that's what we do all the time. It's not really a challenge for us registering people.
Yeah. So the bigger challenge will be the voting process.
That's when we have problems, because now people come in huge numbers, and because of limited time that we have, people have got to vote. Remember, we vote, there's only one day voting in this country, unlike other countries where you can vote over a number of days. In this country, it's only one day. So for us, that becomes a huge challenge, because we have, as things stand now, we've got over 20 million people on the voters roll. So imagine of our 22,000 voting stations, on election day, they've got to be opened to service 20 million voters. So that becomes a huge challenge.
Now, registration process, what is required for me to register? Do I need my ID? What is the process?
Yeah, you need to be first, you must be a South African citizen.
Of course.
Not a South African resident.
Yeah.
You must be a citizen of South Africa. You must be above the age of 18.
Okay.
And then you must have your green barcoded ID or your smart card, or a temporary identification certificate from the Home Affairs that is still valid. Remember, they'll tell you if the temporary identification certificate is valid for 2 months or 3 months.
Yeah.
So it must be valid, and you must bring yourself. You cannot send someone to register on your behalf, so you must register in person.
Ah, so I have to register in person?
Yes.
Why is that? If I can't make it, I want to send my younger sister to do it for me?
Remember, as the IC, we implement the laws. As the law stands right now, you must register in person.
Lovely. Now, if I've moved, I've changed address, maybe I now stay in Tembisa, I used to stay in Soweto. Do I have, on the day of registration, have to come back to Soweto and register?
No, it's important that you register where you live. The law requires that you must be registered where you are ordinarily resident. Now, a place of ordinary residence is the place where you come back to every night to sleep. So if you stay in Tembisa, you must register in Tembisa.
Okay.
Because if you are to elect public representatives, you're going to elect a public representative that is going to represent you in Tembisa, not in Soweto. So you must update your details in Soweto. Hence, we're having this exercise now that people can now, in the past, you have to go to a voting station to go and update. Now you can go online and do that and update your details.
Let's actually talk about that. It's called My IEC Online, right? It actually lets you update your address manually or using the internet to pinpoint your location. I mean, technology is great. I mean, tell me more about the My IEC Online.
Yeah, essentially, it's a functionality that anybody with internet access can go onto our website, pull up their voter registration details, and see if they are in fact correct. If the details on the voters roll are correct in terms of your address, and then if they are not correct, we are able to update those details, change the address online.
Okay, hold on, take me through the process. So if I log on, do I go to a website? Do I go to Google? Do I search for My IEC Online? How does it work?
Yeah, you go to My IEC website, and then you'll ask you to establish an account for yourself. You'll then open an account for yourself, and then it will ask you questions that make sure that you are not a robot, you are a person, so that you are able to respond to those questions. And then once you have done that, then you can then update your details. Your address, if you want to update your address, maybe you have moved, you can then update your address. Or if there is no address on the system, you can actually capture your address so that you have your address on the voters roll.
Lovely. About the importance of registering.
Look, the importance of registering is also related to the importance of democracy. Once, as I indicated earlier, for you to be able to elect your public representatives, you must be a registered voter.
Absolutely.
You don't just vote without being registered. So if you don't register, you will not be able to participate in your in issues that happen in your community. For instance, you'll not be able to elect your ward councillor because you're not registered.
Yeah.
But at the national level or provincial level, you'll not be able to elect representatives in the legislatures or representative in parliament because you're not registered.
Yeah, so
yeah, because essentially what will happen, for instance, in an extreme case, if we have Matawa kaofela ale registered and a voter la Tawa.
All right, thank you for clarifying that, Papa. We'll continue, of course, with this conversation after the ad break. We are also going to be talking Party of Action, known as POA. Of course, it was successfully registered with the IEC at national level. Certificate was issued out on the 17th of Jan 2018. It was founded by former DA Soweto leader Billy Nyaku, following, of course, fierce internal conflict between Billy and top leadership of DA. His membership was seized for 5 years. So after the ad break, we'll be joined by the man himself, Billy Nyaku, president of Party of Action. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. A very warm welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Soweto today. We keep you informed with what's happening around the country and around the world as well. Today, registering to vote. All right, still joined by Ntate Mospito, who is the IEC spokesperson in Gauteng. So, Billy Nyaku is also here. All right, of course, he'll tell us about a party that he just formed. It's called the Party of Action. Let's welcome them onto the show. Billy, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Dr. Piso, thank you so much for staying with us as well. All right, now, quickly about your history in the DA. You left the DA, right? What happened?
Yes, I can attest to that. I left the racist party that plays havoc with mental faculties of black leaders in there. So no black voice is amplified. So you are required to dance to the music of white individuals in the Democratic Alliance. So I tried in every possible way to wake the sleeping, salary-driven, and job-disparate members in the Democratic Party. I mean, in Democratic Alliance, sorry.
You were a DA leader for Soweto in particular. All right, fantastic. Now, you decided to start your own party. It's called the Party of Action. Tell me more. When did you start this and why? Actually,
the registration process started last year, late last year. So fortunately, we were given the certificate on the 17th of January this year by IEC. So we are going to contest 2019 general elections. So the support that you are getting is massive. Actually, I had support when I was in Democratic Alliance because I'm fearless in nature. So I tell it like it is.
Of course, there must be a lot of comments and questions about, the party itself, or, does it have experienced politicians? Who's within the party?
See, it's not about experience. It's about the brains. So when you are surrounded by the leaders with brains, obviously you can move anything from point A to point B. So we've got experienced leaders in the country who have been in top leadership positions. But why are we still having institutionalized corruption and racism? Why are we still having raging poverty? Why are we still having escalating unemployment rate? So why are we still having our own people who embark on protest every day for highest quality basic services? So do you call that experience? We need leaders with brains. We need leaders who can understand the hardships, our own people in townships, in rural areas, I mean, what they are going through. Yes.
Would you say your party stands for that? That's what you understand?
Yeah, our party stands for that. Our party embraces black power. So we seek to unite black people to take economy from the white man. That is a fact. We can never be apologetic about that. So we've got leaders who are involved in corrupt activities. We've got leaders who cannot challenge under any circumstances white supremacy. We've got leaders who are involved in nepotistic practices. They put the interest of their families, their relatives, and their friends first.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why we have you on the show here is obviously to introduce the party to the people, but it doesn't mean of course, representing the IEC, you are part of the party. I just want to clarify that to Mogokai. Let's get your view quickly, though, on the party. They say they're ready for the general elections. Are they on the system? Are we ready? Do we have them on the system?
Yeah, look, like he says, he's got a certificate now. He's registered as a political party. Remember, for you to be a registered political party in the country, you can only register with the IEC.
Course, yes.
So once you are registered with the IEC, then you can participate in all political and electoral processes in the country.
Yeah. Let's look at all provinces, support is a for the party of action.
Our support is massive.
Yeah.
And I enjoy actually every moment of it, every time I talk about POA. So in the morning I was in conversation with the national organizer. So he told me that currently Party of Action has got about 20,486 members actually of our party. So we are going to be big. That is why I can never be ashamed when I say we will be one of the biggest party in South Africa. Actually, I mean, obviously after launch we'll be the biggest party after ANC.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, all that people want, I think, on the ground is really change. All right. Now, speaking of that, we're looking forward to, of course, registration weekend, which is taking place 10th and 11th March. Ntatemos, Kapilenyana, Home Affairs, are they going to be open during the registration weekend?
Look, normally that's what happens, but we haven't had any pronouncements from the Home Affairs Department this time that they will open. But normally that's what, when we have registration weekends, they open to ensure that those people that have lost their IDs are able to go to Home Affairs, get a temporary identification certificate, and then come to our voting stations. Because remember, on the day, we open all the voting stations in the country, so the people then can go to the voting station and register.
All right, just a quick one, also operating hours. Lovely. Okay, Billy, we're looking forward to obviously to seeing your party's name on the thingy. But how do we got difference? I mean, we've had parties like people forming parties. Difference ya party ya.
So many parties are infiltrated by white monopoly capital. So like I said, our primary objective actually is to crush white supremacy into pieces. So we need to embrace black power. So we are amassing support from all black people across the country. So our party is unique because it has got dozens of young people from different professions like law, health, engineering, you name them. So we are united, we are getting support from everyone. And we are going to be big, that is a fact. And we are going to attain black power. Wait and see for yourself when we launch.
All right. When is the launch happening, by the way?
So it should be a second week of March. But I can tell you that tomorrow we are contesting by elections in Ward 14. So we've got a councillor candidate already. Thank you very much, IEC official, for giving us the opportunity to be part of by-elections committee, because we've got a representative of POA in that committee, and now we are contesting. So tomorrow we may have a councillor from POA sitting in City of Johannesburg municipality.
We wish you all the best with it. Now let's quickly get your message before we wrap up. To Mogokai and Khotla register here 10th, 11th March.
So Pascal Chaba Abatsamaye ba register o votela POA, Party of Action, in 2019. So we are going to make wonders. Black person will have a dignity once again economically.
Lovely. Tate Billy, Tate Moss, Kapilenyana re ke re fane ka website ele ya my IEC online re log on kae.
Just log on to the IEC website, which is www.elections.org.za.
All right, so quickly, if I go on Google and search for POA, I'll get more information about the party.
Definitely, Party of Action, you'll see.
All righty, fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. All right, that's how we wrap it up. Moretsi, Tate Moss, Pitso IEC spokesperson, Lee Bilinyako from POA. Remember, we can keep this conversation going. Refiloe Motsei, numerical 1 Twitter, Refiloe Motsei Instagram, Refiloe Motsei also on Facebook. All right, for myself and the rest of the team, don't forget to stay on Soweto TV. Good night.